I'm going to walk y'all through the product kickoff guide that I created for the Tribune. I use this document to start organizing the conversation around a new product from the very beginning. The goal is to make sure that everyone on the team is on the same page, and it also helps me to gather information that's going to be useful for guiding the development process. So, let's get started. Number one, the most important thing to always ask is, why are we doing this? What is our primary goal? When you're beginning a new project, it's really essential to establish what success is going to look like. Having everyone, editors, reporters, ad sales developers, any collaborator, on the same page when you begin helps you manage expectations and communicate as the product evolves. So, I usually try and get the team to agree on 1 to 3 sentences summarizing what it is we plan to accomplish. Some examples might be an increase in ad revenue, to expose political corruption, to reach a new audience or build awareness of our brand on a new platform. Departments might not have the same goals, so it's good to suss out these things at the beginning and prioritize them. Establishing why will help you immensely in the development process to cope with feature creep, manage expectations, and negotiate conflicting needs down the line. Number 2, priority level. Where does this product sit in the hierarchy of everything your organization is working on? Sometimes there simply aren't enough resources to go around. Knowing how important a product is to the higher-ups or specific departments can help you manage the timeline and other people's time to get things done. It can also influence the scope of development, especially if you're trying to do something experimental that doesn't really have a proven track record of success. Figuring out the priority level and making that known to the people who have an investment in the product can help you decide just how big it's going to be, how many resources are going to go into it, and minimize that if necessary. 3, audience and users. Define the audience and users that are going to be using or impacted by this product. If you have relevant user research, bring that to the table and share it with your team. Put it into your product plan. If you don't, ask what questions the team has about your audience and schedule time for user testing and audience research. This is your chance to make sure that the intended audience aligns with the organization's audience goals overall, and to make sure that you know who you are designing for so you can make a better product. Next, requirements. Here's where a product manager really comes in handy. Spell out all the minutiae that will make this product a success, so at the end you can measure what went right, what went wrong, and what you can do better next time. Questions you should ask everyone on the team, what does success look like? What are the main revenue, brand, or technical justifications for this product? How will we know if we've reached our intended audience? Be specific. If there are key performance indicators, KPIs, that you plan to measure, state them, and put in a baseline for what your organization is doing right now. Listing these requirements will help you plan what information you need to collect and potentially add into the development process, like specific analytic trackers, behavior tracking, or an initial survey or audience research that you need to conduct. Dependencies. Are there blockers or other dependencies that must be resolved or addressed as a condition of this project? For example, if your development team has a major technical hurdle to overcome, explain it to the other parties involved. If the reporting team needs to obtain and analyze a large database and are waiting on a public information request, explain the steps involved and how much time this could take up. If there is a blocker on resources, say the key people needed for this product are tied up in another project, tell everyone else about it. This is to help you manage the expectations and also suss out from the team what hurdles they're going to have along the way, so that you can anticipate them and help them through those. Collaborators. Who is working on this product and what is their role? Naming collaborators helps establish responsibility and accountability. You don't need to overly define each person's place on the team, and multiple could have the same role, but people really like to know when their expertise in an area is being appreciated, and defining that role on the team can prevent conflicts later on that can arise from ambiguity on authority in the decision-making process. Stakeholders. Similar to collaborators, but who determines whether this product is ready to ship and that it meets our organization's goals? This could be the lead editor, it could be the CEO, it could be the editor and the reporters, it could be, the art director or the product manager. It might be really obvious. That doesn't really need to be super defined, but you still want to know like who's going to want to check off that this meets their expectations before it goes out to anyone in the public. And lastly, a brief outline of the milestones and the required time to meet those. This is mainly for your benefit as the product manager. Ask your team to generally outline the work they plan on doing and how long it'll take. It could include time for prototyping, user research, code refactoring. It could account for a reporting trip or the wait on a response for public information. This doesn't set anything in stone, but it helps you to understand what deadlines to anticipate and schedule, and at what points you'll need to check in with specific team members on their progress. It also helps everyone else understand the work that their teammates are going to be doing. Coding and development usually takes a lot longer than reporters realize, and so it's really to help facilitate communication and make sure that everyone's on the same page. So that's it. Those are things I cover when I'm kicking off a project. Next, we're going to talk about design thinking and some other strategies for as development gets underway. Thanks, y'all.